Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Yes, so we will see a very bullish day. Nice, really nice. So we will see what's going to happen next because DXY looks extremely weak. I don't know if G just is realizing what he mentioned last time. He is going to dump USD reserves. I mean, they have a lot of reserves. If they go for it, it's going to be very painful for the US dollar. Absolutely. I don't think, to be honest. I don't think, because China is using their USD reserves at the moment to finance their Silk Route. So, you know, it would be much more a strategic decision to dump the USD reserves and to make some other nations, like Japan, for example, a favor. Not only because, you know, the China yuan is also having some problems because of the strong US dollar. Even Hong Kong, I tweeted about that. They started to dump USD reserves just to stabilize their own currency. So yeah, I mean, the US initiated also currency war. It's absolutely very clear what's happening. And just to make it clear, because some people are confused, only because I tweeted something that many of you don't like to read, I just want to make clear one thing. I like Russians. Yeah, I like Russia. I think I never have been there, but I think it's a very interesting, it has a long history, a very nice culture. I like them. Yeah, I don't have any problem with Russia or even with Putin. I don't care. The same, I mean, Ukraine, wonderful, awesome. Never have been there, just have seen some documentations about Ukraine. I have met some people from Ukraine. I had even a Russian friend that had its business in Ukraine. He told me a lot about Ukraine, so I would love to visit Ukraine, and I'm sure that the people there are extremely lovely. The same for the US. I know a lot of US citizens. I like them. I was in the US. I like the US. I don't have any problem with the US. But at the end of the day, I'm German. So my point of the interest when we are talking about geopolitics, about economy and so on and so forth, is Germany. I'm German. I have a big interest that my country is getting better and not worse. So when I'm tweeting, I'm just tweeting, you know, out from any bias related to Russia, Ukraine, or the US, or China, or whatever. And that's something you need to understand. The world is not black or white. It's not like George W. Bush said, you are with us or you are against us. I mean, that's not how it works. In my opinion, the best thing we can do is to bring peace to the world. I'm not talking now in particular about Ukraine. I love everyone. I like everyone. And I just want that everyone is getting better, have wealth, has his family, has enough time for its family. That's the best case. We all know it's utopic, you know, it's not going to happen. But black or white is not the right direction. It just brings pain, it just brings war, it just brings everything that nobody wants. And, you know, black or white is always very simple, trivial. Geopolitics was never simple. And today's enemies will shake their hands next month maybe and telling you we need an agreement. And then they will do that. I mean, just remember a few years ago, 20 years ago, you could just travel to Russia or to the US. Some people from East Germany, those who spent decades in socialism without any opportunity to just go abroad to Spain, for example, or to the US. They could. Wasn't that great? That's what I'm looking for. It's freedom. It's peace for everyone, for the Russians, for the Ukrainians, for the US, and for the Germans. And I'm not angry with the Russians, I'm not angry with the Ukrainians, I'm not angry with the US, because everyone has its own national interest, and they protect them. And that's fine. Like I would like to see from my government as well. Unfortunately, they are not doing it in that way, but you know, that's the only thing. So don't expect from Inspo to be beers, I'm pro-Russian or pro-US, or no, I'm just pro-German. That's the only thing. I'm European and I'm pro-German. That's it. About the market, it was for me really, I had to make this statement because sometimes I'm receiving DMs where I don't want to answer, but where I think you need, if you are following me for more time, you should know how Inspo is. But however, doesn't matter. However, I hope it was clear my statement. To the markets, United Nations announcement, don't be hawkish because you are collapsing the global economy. Something Xi said in February in the World Economic Forum. He mentioned that. Be careful. Hiking interest rates. Who cared? Nobody. Nobody cared. The problem is not what they are doing this year. The problem is not what they did maybe last year. The problem is what they are doing since years. Printing, like everything is fine, only up. And we know only up doesn't exist. You always need, some options in case of, so the worst case. But it seems the central banks didn't care. Now they care. Now they are aggressively pushing and bringing more interest rates. And of course, that's going to shrink the global economy. OPEC Plus, once again, was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Announced once again they are going to reduce the crude oil production because they forecasted the global economy is going to shrink even faster than expected, and of course the demand of crude oil is going to decline. However, that's a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing, usually that would mean they are not expecting a bigger military conflict, at least for this year. That's a good thing, and maybe even for the first half of 2023. I like that. The worst case is nobody knows if we will have a job next year, because that also means companies will close and so on, less demand. Flip consume behavior. I have mentioned that several times. People will start to consume less. Inflation will decline. Yeah. And the Fed will celebrate itself. Look, we will go to 2%. And then we will make 1%, 0.5%, and then go negative. And they will start, well, people, and maybe we need to print a more than before. Just, you know, we need to avoid the deflation. It's not going to happen. In my opinion, it's not going to happen, and it's, in my obvious, that we will go next year to a deflation recession, and then we need to see if that's going to flip to or shift to a economy depression. And that would be worst case, and that's nothing we will change in 1 year, in 2 years, or in 3 years. That will take a lot more time. Usually when we have sometimes, because in history, such a moment like we have right now happened in the 20s. We had the golden 20s in Europe, and afterwards a lot of pain. And the whole thing ended in a world war, where in particular Germans did a lot of bad things. And I really hope that's not going to happen again. Not only because of the Germans, but in general. I really don't want a world war. So, but usually when that happens, when you see a high unemployment rate and so on and so forth, the history unfortunately has its context and references. So I really hope that's not going to happen at all. Absolutely not. So let us see and let us check the market data, what's happening there, what we could expect next, and then we see. First of all, oh, I need my lovely Epic Pen. Epic Pen, where are you? Here you are. Epic Pen is indicating, you see here, weights ratio 1 day, lifted up to 70s, maintained even here, was just going up to 60s, right now declining. It's still at 49, and that's why it seems it's lifting up once again. I was expecting maybe we could go down and then bounce, but it seems they want to push up. So the whole thing what we are seeing right now was forecasted, but whales, because they started to prepare to send bitcoins to centralized exchanges. And as mentioned today in my tweet, even the reserves on centralized exchanges related to bitcoins are lifting up, so indicating they're accumulating to distribute. So we need to see what's going to happen here. We are right now above 50. That's big, but you know, we have a lot of space to the upside. So we need to see how far they want to go. Usually, and that explains also why SPY, SPX is lifting up, why we have the volume we have. It's just because they are distributing the way up. So let us see. Well, it changed here. We can see here, let us start with the weights ratio. You see we are at 88 at the moment, so it dumped, well, it declined many times, and afterwards it lifted up. So what I see here at the moment is they are pushing with stablecoins. So stablecoins coming in, not huge. We are talking here about almost 300 millions that they sent since last time, and they reached once again the level we had last time. So the question is are we done now? Or are these guys sending more millions to centralized exchanges to push up more the price? That's something we need to wait. It's just, in my opinion, still too early to tell that. While the stablecoin supply maintains its level and declined even more. I'm still receiving these whale alerts indicating 60 million outflows from Binance. Today it was 2, 3, or 4 times. I don't remember anymore. However, they are distributing, selling, and taking off their stablecoins to send them afterwards also to Treasury and to swap them to fiat. While the weights ratio 30 hours moving average declined, it's lifting up, still below 90. You know, everything above 90 is red alarm, because usually that's indicating they are sending a lot Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, and usually after it dumped. Or at least, how we can see here, for example, they went from almost 19.8 to 18.8 and did $1,000 to the downside. So, you know, while the waste ratio 30 hours is lifting up, we need to be very careful, because the same can happen here. Let us go forward. So we can see that Bitcoin inflow activity is rising at the moment. I mean, you remember EB here, for example, 1,700 Bitcoins. I mean, that's not coincidence. They knew that. They were preparing the whole stuff. The thing is, how it's possible? How did they know that? You know, it's always the same. They are front running, making some preparations where you say, okay, it's fine, but how is that possible? How did you know that? So what we see here is a bunch of inflow activity while the outflow activity was extremely low, and now coming in indicating they purchased, they sold, they purchased, and so on and so forth. So if we take here a look, 1,000, another 1,000, another another 1,000, another 1,000, and so on and so forth. Then here another 1,500 Bitcoins, another 1,000 Bitcoins, and in the last 2 hours almost 3,000 Bitcoins. While if we check here, for example, the last bigger outflow was in the last hour 3,350 Bitcoins. So while they are just sending Bitcoins, they are not selling everything, and that also explains why the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges are lifting up. We had a gap of 11,000 Bitcoin since last week. So also here we need to see what they are doing. If we go to the daily, maybe it could be also interesting. We see here we received 11,800 yesterday and only withdrawed 8,800. So here a gap of 3,000, and here, for example, 13,400 Bitcoins, or almost 13,500 Bitcoin inflows, and only 11,500 Bitcoins outflows. Also here, for example, we are talking about a gap of 2,000 Bitcoins. All these gaps are the preparation on centralized exchanges, where these guys, the only thing what they are doing is maintaining Bitcoins there to sell afterwards. Another 800 Bitcoins or another 770 Bitcoins arrived, while only 240 Bitcoins outflows. So also here a gap indicating they are not selling yet, they are maintaining. So if we take a look, for example, to stablecoins, it's peanuts. I mean, 16 million here and another 18 million here. Of course, if we start to accumulate all of this, and that explains why in my other chart, for example, the stablecoin graph is lifting up, you know, because that's what they are doing at the moment, and buying and buying and buying. So yeah, that's it. So in my opinion, it doesn't look that bullish. At least a correction could happen. We need to see how far they want to go up with SPY and SPX, because only down is not possible. We retrace. The question is that a new narrative that's pushing the price up, or it's just a correction? And we need to see. Let us go forward. So what we are seeing here is funding rate lifted up, declined, open interest and leverage ratio only up. While we don't see any big activity to stablecoins and derivative exchanges, and right now to Bitcoin only here came in last hour almost 4,750 Bitcoins to derivative exchanges. The question is, are they longing or shorting? It looks like, at least based on the aggregated funding rate, they are shorting at the moment. So we need to be extremely careful, because it will be the first time that we go up to 20,000, 300, 400. We got rejected many times and then we dump. So it wouldn't be nothing where we say, oh, it's surprising me. So let us go forward. That's aggregated. Look what's happening. I mean, look that, how it recovered. I mean, we are right now here, even higher. We are, if we, wow, let me check here, open interest. Look where the open interest is at the moment here. Leverage ratio even higher, even much higher. Look that. I mean, that's crazy. That's really crazy. While liquidations are declining. And I mean, we had volatility, but of course, if you want to liquidate, you need to make a big step up or down. So up or down to liquidate much more at the moment, and that's why the liquidation volume is declining. People are using less leverage, at least the big volume is using less leverage. Why it seems that many others are using high leverage, and that's why the leverage is even higher than just before. That's really crazy. While the open interest maintains here. I mean, we are reaching again the level we had at 30K. Just imagine that. And that's not bad at all. But be careful, because people are, you know, it could hurt a lot. While the funding rate right now, it flipped from long to short. We need to make it to be very careful. I'm shorting. I closed my hedge long, but taking into account this data, I think it makes sense for me just to, you know, to place another hedge long, because if they are really, if the funding rate is declining in such way, it's indicating they are using a lot of money and a lot of leverage to short. We will take a look also to blockchain whispers, but a short squeeze, you know, I mean, I mentioned that usually in such moments like we did, for example, in lower areas, is to liquidate the late high leverage shorts. Means if you think we will go down, we will go up a little bit, not much more, but maybe just $150, $200 liquidate you. You will place another one. They will again lift up another $100 to $200 to the upside to liquidate you. And when they are noticing nothing big is coming anymore, then they dump. So, however, when you have seen such a quick rally, usually you have a correction. We all know that. So they can maintain 20,000, go a little bit more down, then a little bit more up, then a little bit more down, and then afterwards push up very hard to liquidate all these shorts and then dump. It's also possible. So we need to see. However, they liquidated some shorts, nothing big, absolutely nothing big, almost 500 Bitcoins in short. So, and that's the aggregated, so nothing big at all. If we go forward, we see here Binance. Binance is not indicating what the aggregated one is indicating. So the funding rate, as you can see, for example, is here very high, while open interest and leverage ratio, wow, that's crazy. I mean, that's really crazy. People were just waiting to see a valid bullish candle to jump in. I would be extremely careful. On Binance, I don't like what I'm seeing there. So let us go forward and check. Blockchain whispers. Oh, maybe we can on the Kingfisher start over. Yeah, oh no, come on. Go out. Spin. Give me a spin. Give me a blue. Give me a blue. Blue, brother, blue. A green one, it's also fine. Binance. So if we go to BitMEX, we can see we have, wow, 55 in shorts and 45 in longs. Looks a little bit equal, right? So it seems that in the recent, I don't know, few hours, more longs came in. Otherwise, Binance funding rate wouldn't go up. So we need to see what's happening here. On Ethereum looks different. They are more bullish than bearish. Only on Bitcoin they are a little bit more bearish than bullish. It's not big at all, absolutely not. And well, on Bitfinex, well, who cares? So let us take a look here. And as mentioned, I mean, look, the next the next bigger cluster here, if they want to liquidate, we need to go down to 19.5, because otherwise the next big one would be at 22K. So let us see what this structure looks like. And check if that matches to FTX, just to see if maybe FTX is also playing a bigger role on Binance. And let us check FTX now. While I need to check also here something. So what we see is no, not really. I mean, yes, I see that this would match. That's too high. Liquidation cluster count rised on FTX. That's also interesting. I mean, the structure, just these here is a little bit different, but the structure in general looks very similar. If we take a look here, it's also here 19.5. So if they want to liquidate anything, they need to go down to 19.5, otherwise 22K. So yeah, this time they did everything fine. We had the breakout, they retested the breakout afterwards, and then we lifted up. So at the moment, it's nothing where I would say it's exaggerated or it doesn't look solid. But in my opinion, BTC is still too weak. So everything depends on SPX and SPY algos. However, if they want to liquidate someone, they need to go down to 19.5. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. Let us go forward. So if we take a look, for example, what's happening to CBD, as you can see, the price moving up very hard. FTX, not really interested. The aggregated looks even more bullish. More bullish looks even the Bitcoin collateral one, and the stablecoin one even more than the Bitcoin collateral one. So also here indicating that of course they are supporting the future market, but mainly the future market is pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So very interesting that FTX, it's not really interested in the whole game here. I mean, it seems they're distributing. They are buying and even more. Otherwise, this spot CBD of FTX wouldn't rise, but not that big and very late. I mean, they started to buy here. We are talking about 19.8. So they started very late. And I would be extremely careful, because they love to do that, to dump afterwards. It wouldn't be the first time that bulls are celebrating the party just before the party starts. I would be extremely careful here. So let us take a look. That's Binance. And Binance, well, as usual, I mean, even here, you know, the aggregated CBD for Bitcoin collateral and stablecoin collateral futures looking even more bullish, because they started to rise here while spot started to rise here. Also very interesting. That's Bitfinex. Would you say that looks bullish to you? Look there. I don't think so. But, you know, so that doesn't look that great. Coinbase. I mean, these guys are buying always. We know that. They started to distribute here. Also very interesting. If you check where they started to distribute, they distributed here and they started to distribute and distribute and distribute and distribute. So also interesting. Is the whole thing done? I don't know. I really don't know. But based on CVD, it doesn't look that bullish. Let us check the entities. Retailers. Of course. This guy's here with less than 10 bitcoins. Selling a little bit. This guy's here. Oh, sold. Now lifting up a little bit. This guy's here. Once again, we know what they do. They buy and sell afterwards. Quick profit. Market maker declined. It's now lifting up its balances once again. So we need to see. Breaking. Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter once again. How many times does he want to buy it? Oh my god. According to people, okay. Yeah, would be the best that can happen to Twitter, in my opinion. And as we see here, these entities much more related to centralized exchanges like Bitfinex, Coinbase, Binance, and so on and so forth, declining a lot their balances. So it's usually that should happen when the price goes up. How much is that? Okay, 80,000, that's a lot. And let me see. 30,000 was market maker and 20,000 here. So these guys and this here almost absorbed what this here just, you know, reduced in its balances. If we take a look at the moment, the market maker is not active, not really. Well, it was active once here, that was related to derivative, then once here, then once here, and then once here. But not big at all, really not. So if I check here, no, I can't check because CryptoQuant once again not showing it. So let me see. No, okay. Oh, the market maker. Oh, he is coming again. Okay, then we will dump. That's always the same game. 2,700 bitcoins. Okay, it's fine. Good. Then it's absolutely clear for me. Usually when that happens is when we dump. They did it always. Here, they did it here. That's what they love to do, just when we are on the top, just to send bitcoins to centralized exchanges. We need to see that was 4 p.m. Oh, of course. Yeah, it was the market maker spot. So it's clear that they want to distribute once again. I would be extremely careful from now on, to be honest. So I will tweet that just after the analysis. As you see, they withdraw 3,000 bitcoins, but you see that since here last week, the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges lifted up. So also not cool at all. And well, what should I say? Spot activity declining even more, and futures looks like the whole market looks really like crap at the moment. miners not doing anything, and that's it. Let us go forward. So let us see what's happening here. We can see that they removed sell orders here at 20,500, for example, on Coinbase. And the next limitations to the upside would be at 22.5. They are reinforcing 25, and they are placing here since a while. That was in whole September. Still here, sell orders, but at the same time we can see they're also reinforcing here. We have here they reinforce, they added more liquidity, for example at 17.4. They are here placing or reinforcing 14.8. Even here at 10,500, once again a lot of volume here, and that between 14, 15. I don't know why people are doing that. I mean, that's, you know, liquidity, money is money, and if you lock your money there, it's dead. It's not bringing you anything, absolutely anything. Deribit, let us take a look. 19.3, 18.19, 18.7, and that's it. Well, we still have everything above of 28k, a lot of different sell orders, but that's it. Bitstamp removed two walls here, still maintaining at 20,500 and even a little bit higher. They removed here sell orders, but they are not removing the liquidity to the downside. Very strange what they are doing. While CBD is indicating they are buying more than selling. Look, they are still here, a lot of liquidity locked. Binance spot. So Binance spot, let me check, removed sell orders at 25k. Why? They don't want to sell anymore? Remove the wall also here, but as you can see, still here a lot of sell orders waiting to get triggered. 21 would be the next one, but they reinforced here at 20,500. Why reinforced also here at 19k? So careful. A lot of liquidity here, removed liquidity here, that's good. They placed another wall here at 20,500. I don't know why, but however. Also interesting. So nothing big, to be honest. Absolutely nothing big. More to the downside than to the upside. But that's not going to be that easy here, in my opinion. Bitfinex, that's Bitfinex spot. Limiting at 21. A lot of different sell orders to the upside. Some liquidity between 17 and 18. Yeah. Okay. And FTX. Wow. Okay, FTX. Okay, that explains why you're not that bullish. Okay, didn't see that. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. So until 21.3, a lot of short orders, a lot. And still here between 11.2 and 14.7, but that's huge. And they are shorting. They started here to short. So since we reached 20k, 20,100, they are triggering more short orders and they are shorting more, as you see. Oh my god. OKEX, nothing. Positive CVD. Kraken also switched to negative CVD now. Limiting the way up at 21k, some volume here at below 20,500, and also here waiting at 19.1. Also here, for example, they reinforced their walls between 18 and 17.6. BitMEX. Yeah, also here, big, 20,350. It looks like that's the local top. Bringing again at 14k and so on, some liquidity. Interesting. Binance Futures. Wow, that looks exactly the same. Oh, I need to tweet about that. So that's really crazy what they are doing here. FTX and Binance Futures looking so similar, and that's not bullish at all. That means just they want to short big, and I'm a little bit scared about that because they really want to short big. That's big. So it wouldn't surprise me if they push the price even more, hitting 20,500 to trigger all these short positions. I didn't see such a big volume in short positions since a while. So we need to be extremely careful here. Oh my god, that's really big. Bitfinex derivatives. Okay, at least here everything looks good. I mean, if we reduce EME volume, but yeah, everything looks good here. Nothing big. They even remove the wall here at 18.1. Very interesting. So Kraken Futures. Nothing. OKEX Futures. Nothing. And here 21. Well, I mean, that's FTX spot. You can see what's waiting here, but it matches very well to what they are doing related to their shorts. I would be extremely careful because we see here that's crazy. That's below 17k. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So everything 20,500 and the biggest one at 21. 21 could be a bull trap. So be careful. That's it. Let us go forward. You can see the CBD, by the way. That's nothing. Peanuts. We go to my personal conclusion.